most corrupt government in the world, or one of the most corrupt governments in the world. Now, that is quite a title to give to someone. What makes you say that, and why do you think that is?
Well, you have to look at the American funding. They have sent billions of dollars to pay the wages of the soldiers on the ground, which is another reason why the Afghan National Army seemed to melt away. Many of those soldiers hadn't been paid for months. Some of them hadn't been paid in more than a year. Now then, where's that money gone? Because America sent the money, billions of dollars, it's gone somewhere. And it certainly hasn't been spent on education or women's rights. And so why would a soldier risk his life for a government that is stealing his wages? And now, I've had mixed reports about Ashraf Ghani. I've heard people say that he is a genuine man and that he's not corrupt. Well, if he's not corrupt, he has presided over an administration that is, and he has promised to get on top of this corruption. Now, he's either blind, incompetent, or he's corrupt himself, or it could be a combination of all three. He certainly, and he's also partly responsible for giving the impression to the Americans, to the British, to NATO, everything is fine. We've got a highly trained army. They can keep the Taliban at bay. And he hasn't been telling the truth.
So,
which is why, they've been caught off by complete surprise.
Yeah. So what do you think it is that led the Taliban to be able to take over in 11 days, essentially? Is it just that they have the majority support within the country?
It's been planning, preparation. They've had a base in Qatar, and they have, some of their leaders have gone out and networked with warlords, with governors of provinces, with tribal leaders. This is the tribal society. And they've gone out to the tribal leaders and they've done a hearts and minds job and asked for their support. And then they've gone and ramped up the fight back to reclaim the country. It's been helped by the fact that the Americans said we're leaving by September 11. It's always helpful to know when the occupation's going to end. And on top of that, the corruption from the Ashraf Ghani government that has really demoralized the Afghan army and the other civil servants in the administration. And that is why they've been, it's been a combination of getting everything in place. It's nothing new. It's not rocket science, because it's very similar to what Hamid Karzai did when he came from nowhere, apparently, and was swept into power by the Americans in the first interim government. And Hamid Karzai, quite bravely actually, had gone out into the countryside and negotiated with a lot of the tribal elders and leaders to build the groundwork for when he was ready to go in. And the Taliban have done exactly the same thing. It was planning, preparation, but also while they have been doing that, They've also been making strategic alliances with the Chinese, who have a border with Afghanistan, with Pakistan. I mean, the worst kept secret is that Pakistan had been helping the Taliban. They deny it even now, but they did. But they've had potential trade talks with China, Pakistan, Iran, and that's hugely significant because, you know, the Taliban Mark I contained quite a lot of sectarianism and hostilities towards, I knew that was going to happen, and hostilities towards the Shia and the Hazaras and some of the other minority groups in Afghanistan. They appear to have overcome that sectarian divide now, and they said, you know, emphatically that they will protect minority groups. So that is something new as well. So this Hearts and Minds hasn't just gone out to their Pashtun countrymen. It's gone out to the ethnic minorities, the Tajiks, the Uzbeks, the Hazara, and as I say, this reaching out to the Shia is very interesting as well. So they've gone around all their neighbours. They've also been talking with Turkey, which is becoming quite a regional power across the Middle East and as well. And of course, they've had this base in Qatar where they've been allowed to do this. So I think that, you know, that they have been quite astute. They have shown that they're ready to govern. But the one thing that they will not compromise on is their Islam. And they want to introduce and will introduce a Sharia law.
Thanks for making it all the way to the end of the podcast. Don't forget our sponsor, ExpressVPN, and my book, Brexit, The Establishment Civil War, can both be found in the links in the description below. And also, please like, share, and subscribe to this podcast. It's the best way to help us grow. Until next time, thanks for listening.
Screw the hedge funds.
You can make as many rules as you want, but if there's no teeth behind them, what's the point?
Well, like Citadel is potentially just gone in a few months. It feels like financial institutions, that they are all laughing at us by buying GME. Screw the hedge funds. Like, I will lose my entire investment if it brings them down.
Why on earth, last May, could you buy the entire company for $200 million?
What's been happening on Reddit and in social media and in the marketplace has never been seen before.
I argue that nothing is off the table. There is nothing off the table when dealing with the volumes of money in something as big as the United States stock market.
The hedge funds have clearly underestimated a group of people raised on Friday night World of Warcraft raids.
Dark pools, they're another mechanism to manipulate and cheat. Mainstream journalists don't say these things for a number of reasons. One is their sources are the people that I'm talking about, and so they can't call somebody a crook.
Superstonk and the other communities that have emerged are a hive mind, the likes of which we have never seen before. It's madness and brilliance, insanity and genius all rolled into one. It's very possible that Citadel will be gone in a few months. And not just Citadel, but the entire financial system has the potential to come crashing down. These crooks continue to gamble recklessly with the world economy, and this could be the moment that they finally get their justice.